Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Phi and this is Money Philosophy. Thank you for coming back for another day of Tesla analysis. Today we will go over Tesla technical analysis to review the price action last week and project the price action potentially for this week as well as the subsequent weeks. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. I am a growth stock investor and a trader. I particularly love trading and investing in Tesla, and I'd love to share with you my investing and trading journeys. Thank you very much, and let's get right into it. Tesla ended today on Friday at $1,114, up over 3% from Thursday. It is an incredible run, and then after hours, Tesla continued to go up another $10 to $15. And needless to say, I'm super excited owning shares in Tesla. I am a proud shareholder in Tesla. As you can see over there, I have a decanter that I recently ordered. I love that one. It is an empty bottle though, and I don't drink, so I don't really know what to fill it with, but it looks really nice, and it reminds me every day that I'm a proud Tesla shareholder. So we will start with the weekly chart first. Here you can see that Tesla reached the all-time high of $1,115. It ended the day right around there, only $1 less at $1,114, up over 3%. And after hours, it had another $14 run to $1,128. I do think that the RSI is way overbought at this point. I'm getting a little nervous, although of course as a shareholder there's nothing I'd rather see than my account continue to be in the green day after day, but I do have to plan, or at least mentally prepare for the stock to correct. So for example, in the past, if you're looking at, this is back in February of 2020, so this is quite a while ago, when RSI hit this level of overbought, it continued to go up, I would say another couple of weeks, and then it crashed down pretty hard. So at the height, at the time, it was at around $184 split adjusted, and then it crashed down to $70. So that is about a 40% drop after the height that it made last time. I'm not suggesting that Tesla would drop 40% this time, but I do think that when RSI get to this level, we have to be very careful. If you notice also that it was at the time multi-week with RSI being in the high, so it's entirely possible that history could repeat itself and Tesla has another week or two of run. Tesla tend to run at least 10 to 15 days at a time. So for all intents and purposes, we only have seen the run that go up about 2 weeks, so less than 14 days total. So I do think that there's a good chance that it will continue running. And I am not by any means trading any put options. I think when the stock is extremely bullish, right, like this, and you go in with a put option, it is not ideal, even though reversal is a very prominent play. I still don't think it's wise to jump in without any sign of reversal at this point. That said, I'm also not in any call options at this point because I do think that an overbought RSI means that it's just a matter of time before the stock start tipping down. Back to the weekly chart here, it is almost going straight up for the last 3 weeks, and it did not even have any consolidation whatsoever in my weekly bull flag. Tesla took out both of my bull flag targets and potentially even a third target had I had one. So this is incredibly good news for all the bulls and the shareholders out there. I'll take a look at the daily chart. So on the daily, Tesla made another all-time high, as we can see here. RSI on the daily has been in the overbought territory for quite a while now. I also think it's a matter of time before Tesla corrects itself a little bit. The volume on Friday was 127%, with the volume here is predominantly, if not all of it, is just buy volume. Let's take a look at the hourly chart. So on the hourly chart, after hours, Tesla continued to move up another $14 to $15. Pretty impressive. During the day on Friday, Tesla did hit a high point of the pivot, which was around $1,100, and it consolidated around there for quite a while. Tesla also formed a ascending triangle on the hourly here, ending right at the upper pivot point. And sure enough, in the last hour of the day, it broke out. The trading range for Monday on the upper end is 1142, the middle pivot point is 1100, and the bottom pivot point is $1,086. So it is entirely possible that Tesla would gap up again to 1130 or something like that, spike through the top pivot point here and continue to go up. Tesla does not necessarily conform to the pivot lines, especially when it is in its bull run. But I'm also very cautious. Tesla could reverse any point in time. So if you are call option holder that is only have 1 week of expiration, I would be very careful because we are definitely overextended at this point. A few of you asked me about the gap that I mentioned in the last video. The gap was from $909 on Friday, October 22nd, to $949 at the open point on October 25th, so which was essentially last Monday. I wanted to share that the gap created here is almost $40 gap, so it is a very significant gap. So I do have, over the years, I read a lot of technical analysis book, and the vast majority of traders believe that gaps would be filled. For example, John Carter in his Mastering the Trade book mentioned that what would be the secret to unfilled gap. So he would say that 80% of the time the gap will fill within the same day. The other 20% of the gap wouldn't fill within the same day, and that leaves an open gap in the market. An open gap is like a black hole or a tractor beam, eventually sucking prices back to their opening gap level. Whenever the market leaves an open gap like that, he would mark that on a post-it note and leave it by his computer and continue to monitor that for subsequent days, because there would be a high likelihood that the market will go back and fill that gap. However, in my trading experience, I've seen gaps that are not yet filled. For example, if you look at Shopify, I mark all of Shopify gap back in the 800 area. So for example, this is Shopify chart. I know that there was a gap from $744 to $773. That gap has not been filled, and Shopify is already at almost $1,500. There's another gap from $817 to $834. That gap was also not filled. So whenever a gap is not filled, I leave the lines there so I have some point of reference if and when it does fill. If you look at Tesla in recent history, this one, it had a gap down mid-September, and a few days later it filled that gap. There's also a mini gap up here early September, and it also filled that gap a few days later. There's a gap up here in June here, consolidating for a little while and then eventually fill that gap, right? So admittedly, the gap here is very much like an exhaustion gap and not a breakaway gap. So it fills a lot faster than a breakaway gap, right? And the volume, even though that day the volume was also above 100%, evident in the fact that the volume bar here above my yellow line, which is the moving average of the volume there. But eventually, Tesla filled that gap and continued running. So over the long run, I don't dispute the fact that Tesla will be on the uptrend year over year, month over month. But I do think it's important to note that gap because it could come in handy. Here's another gap here. This is way back in April. It looks like a breakaway gap, and then Tesla had a dark cloud cover and eventually filled that gap a few days later with this candle here, right? There's a gap down here for Tesla that from $736 to $719, and that gap took a while to fill, and eventually it filled. So either gap up or gap down, I do believe that eventually it would fill in the short term, right? If you're looking at 4 to 5 months out and Tesla still not fill the gap that it was created from last Monday, then the chance of it filling that gap is a lot lower in my mind. back to the hourly chart here, I do want to show the gap here in relation to the trading range. So it is quite significant jump from where the gap was created last Monday to where Tesla was on Friday and where Tesla would be on Monday tomorrow. So once again, the chance of Tesla filling this gap is less and less as the days pass by unfilled. However, keep this in the back of your mind, because when Tesla does tip back down, it will be going for this gap. So this is it for this video. I hope you find the information helpful. Comment down below if you have any thoughts or any questions. I hope we enjoy our Tesla bull run together, and we would be prepared for any correction in the near term. With all that said, I appreciate all of you guys here. I've received amazing support over the last few weeks, and I'm very thankful to have all of you guys together with my journey owning and trading Tesla. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.